Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're making Cinnamon Roll Peach Cobbler. Alright, so this is going to be like the easiest thing I've ever shown you guys how to make. It is nothing to do. I mean, literally this is so simple, yet it has such a great taste, and I never would have thought it would taste as good as it does. But if you need a dessert really quickly, this is it. There really is nothing more included in this except for cinnamon roll can and a peach pie filling can. So let's go ahead and take the wrapper off of the cinnamon roll can. And of course mine did not pop. So I'm going to use a knife to actually help this. If you have to do this at home, please be careful, don't cut yourself. And then once you get it open, we're going to pull out the cinnamon rolls. And these are the cheap ones. You don't have to pay a lot for this. Right about now you probably want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees because these are going to be in there probably 18 minutes, maybe 20. Go ahead and separate your cinnamon rolls. If they actually come apart as you're taking them apart from each other, that's okay because we can push them right back together, and then we're going to cut them up anyway, so it makes no difference. So go ahead and separate these and put them on your counter. The best thing about these is even if you buy the cheap cinnamon rolls, and I did, they literally cook up really well in this, so it really doesn't make any difference, and they still taste great because you're getting all that flavoring in there. So what we're going to do is take a knife and cut these into little wedges, which they don't need to be microscopic, but they don't want to be huge either. So just cut them into bits to where, you know, each one of the cinnamon rolls, you cut it up about like, you know, 4 or 5 times or whatever, just to cut the pieces up, because we want to separate these when we put them in our pan for baking. And just work your way through all of the cinnamon rolls, cutting them up. It doesn't matter if some of them are different sizes or different shapes. It really makes no difference whatsoever, because when we actually go to put these in the baking pan, we're going to break them up a bit. So just go ahead and finish cutting them up. If you notice the icing packet that came out of these, I set it to the side because I want it to warm up while these are going to go in the oven, so that way it's easier to squeeze this out over the top of it, because we will be using that as well. So take your baking dish, mine's like a 9x13, spray it with some nonstick cooking spray, and then we're going to take the bits of cinnamon roll and break them up and just drop them across the bottom. And what you want to do is make sure that you kind of do this evenly where there's enough to cover the whole bottom of it. You just don't want one corner that has nothing. So go ahead, break it up, put it all in. And as you can see, these things just basically fall apart in your hands when you're putting them in, and that's good because that's really what you want it to do. And then once we get all of these in here, we're going to turn to our peach pie filling. And no, we didn't want regular peaches for this because all that watery juice that's in it doesn't work. But the peach pie filling has kind of like a gelled consistency in it, so that way it basically works better. So go ahead and spoon all of your peaches across the top of the cinnamon rolls, and get the gel out as well, because you want every bit of this. You don't want to waste any of what's in the can. And just as you're doing it, scrape it out. Just make sure that your peaches are kind of distributed across the top, because we are going to take our spoon and move through the cinnamon rolls and kind of push these in a bit. You don't have to do it a lot, just enough to actually get it in there. And then once you get these completely distributed, it's time to go in the oven. And like I said, 400 degrees for about 18-20 minutes. You might want to watch it to see if your oven cooks kind of hot, so that way you don't like make it a little too brown on top. Best thing about this is just to make sure that your peaches are kind of distributed before they hit the oven. And when it comes back, you want it to cool for about like 20-30 minutes before you go doing the icing, because otherwise you'll melt your icing. And just, you know, cut a hole in the side of that icing and squeeze it over top like I'm doing right here. And pretty much after this, you are ready to eat it. Just cover it with icing and be ready to go. And this has such a great taste, which I was amazed how good it tastes to have the two things mixed together. So this is what it looks like when it's done. It is a great dessert. It's a fast dessert. It takes no time to make this. And I hope you enjoyed as much as I do. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you get a chance, check out my cookbooks, which are available in bookstores worldwide. The first is about everyday cooking. The second is all about baking. Have a great day.